Morning everyone, it's Matt from Back Yourself Fitness here. It is bright and early, well it's dark and early, it's just past 6 AM, it's a nice rainy day outside. Thought I'd put a video up of a bit of an update on intermittent fasting. So about 4 weeks ago I started intermittent fasting just purely to see what the effects were on my body and how it affected training and body composition and things like that. Was just curious. You know, I've never done it. I only heard things about it, so I was curious to see how it would affect me in my day-to-day life, being a PT, working strange hours and things like that. So, bit of a report. In the first video, you know, I said I had more energy. I said, you know, I was clearer through the head. I said my strength was about the same. What else did I notice? You know, off the top of my head, that's the things I was talking about in the first one. Since been doing now for about a month and a bit, it could be to do with increased stress. It could be to do with the days being darker longer. It could be to do with, you know, just how hard I'm running my body. But the energy levels have definitely dipped off a little bit. I'm still clearing the head. I'm still sleeping fine. Training wise, and there's a bit of an energy dip there. Strength wise, there's a bit of a dip. But I'm still managing to knock out decent sessions. I'm just not being able to push and pull the weights I was previously. You know, considering what hours I work, you know, what hours I'm awake, my window was from roughly 8:30 through to 4:30, so I could eat my full daily calorie intake in that 8 hours. You know, that sounds great, but if you've got stuff to do like grocery shopping or meetings or you know, you've got to be here and there, or sessions at PT sessions at strange times, you know, I felt like I was sacrificing eating to do those things, which was a bit strange, but you know, you've got to play by the clock. I found intermittent fasting put a lot of pressure on your food, as in, like, you've only got 8 hours and you've just got to shovel as much as you can in. So as I said, there was days where I get to 2 o'clock and realise I've still got to eat, you know, 1,500 calories in 2 hours, which sounds like a fun idea, but if you're trying to eat it properly, like meat and veg, or you know, whatever the case may be, it's very hard to throw in that amount of good calories in that amount of time. Yeah, I found myself wanting food more at night and more like sugar orientated stuff, so my body was screaming out for energy. Whether that, once again, is from the hours I work, the days being longer, stress levels, food, whatever the case may be. So that's what I've experienced. From a body composition point of view, I am consistently heavier and look a little bit more filled out, which wasn't that hard for me. But, you know, do I have a cut midsection? No. Do I have huge biceps? No. So it's body composition wise, yeah, it's about the same roughly. Like from the scales point of view, I've probably put on, you know, 1.5 kilos of what looks to be muscle. Like, I haven't got a gut or anything like that. You know, the other thing with the scales is, if you're a person that lives your life by the scales, you're going to hate intermittent fasting, because you'll jump on the scales at the end of the day and you'll be 2.5, 3 kilos heavier than you were at the start of the day. And that's purely because you've put so much food in. It's got nothing to do with, oh no, I've put on this weight. It's just the amount of food you've put in. So that's the other thing with intermittent fasting. Like, aesthetically, the morning you look pretty good. As the day goes on, the more and more food you throw in, the more and more bloated your midsection gets. So I don't really, like, considering I work essentially split shifts, my nights are like lazy around the house. I'm at work, so I don't like feeling bloated and lethargic. One thing I am going to do moving forward is I'm going to relax on the intermittent fasting. Like I was doing 5 days on, 6 days on, 2 days off. I'm going to do it 5 days off and 2 days a week. I'm still going to do it just to see what happens, because me personally, I haven't found it as successful as, you know, all your YouTube videos tell you it is. You know, I was just having a crack, like I said, to see what happens. You know, I've really discovered that it's the thing that's it's really driven me to do is eat my full daily calories. You know, so I feel like even if I wasn't intermittent fasting and if I was just eating, like hitting my full calorie goal every day, I would still have felt the benefits of intermittent fasting, if that makes sense. So at the end of the day, if you're looking for an eating fad, why don't you try eating your daily calorie allowance every day and just see what happens. You know, can't out-train a bad diet, but in saying that, if you're training 5-6 times a week and you're only putting, you know, 1,500 calories in a day, and you're trying to put on size or whatever, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to make a conscious effort to continue to eat my full daily calorie intake. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit so I'm not worried about my 8-hour window anymore. 5 days a week, 2 days a week I still will, just to see if that little shock to the system kicks anything along. But yeah, for me personally, bottom line is I didn't find intermittent fasting to be overly successful. I think at the end of the day it's eat your calories, eat good calories, you know, train hard, and you don't really need to worry about intermittent fasting and things like that. If you were stuck in a rut, like if you were a quote-unquote weight loss client, if you were stuck in a rut and it feels like the scales weren't moving, it feels like they've consistently moved from, like, let's call it 100 down to 80, and you're stuck at 80 and you want to get to 75 or 70, sure, throw intermittent fasting in just to shock your system a little bit, you know, keep the body guessing. But if you're an everyday just going to the gym and training, and you know you want to shave off a bit of fat, put on a bit of muscle, it's eat your calorie intake for the day, you know, make sure you hit it, make sure they're good calories, make sure you train hard. But then from a life aspect, you've got to look at keeping your stress under control, getting your sleep, stretching and recovering, taking the stress off your body. So yeah, they would be my key tips to anyone who's thinking about starting a diet or a fad eating way of life or whatever. Do the basics. Basics work. That's been my philosophy since I started being a PT. Basics work. You don't need fandangle bits and pieces to move forward. So if you're going to do intermittent fasting, it's not going to suit everyone. Bottom line is eat calories. Eat calories and train hard. Yeah, that's what I found. Hopefully this has been insightful. Yeah, we'll be posting more videos of just little bits and pieces along the way, so always keep checking the blog because there'll be new stuff going up. Other than that, have a good day, and this is what outside looks like. Sun's just coming up. Have a good day.